What is up? I am back again, if you can believe it, and I'm chilling harder than you could possibly imagine. I'm gonna be reacting today to Moses Sumney, who I have never heard of before. He's got an album called Grae from 2020. I'm assuming it's pronounced Grae. It's got a sound in it, but he's Ghanaian American apparently, so I highly doubt he's using it the Scandinavian way. So I have no idea. I don't know what genre. I don't know anything about him other than Ghanaian American. I just put his name into Google and I didn't even click on anything. I just read the first line of the wiki. Sweet, came out in 2020. I did see something about multitudinous was the word that I saw in reference to this album, and it's the only word that I saw. So I'm guessing there are going to be a whole lot of different elements, a bunch of different emotions being experienced, which I cannot wait for. So let's just go straight into it. First song is called, oh, by the way, there's 2 discs. I'm only doing the first disc on this one because it's 12 songs already. So let's get it. INSULA. My headphones weren't plugged in. Try it again. Noob.
Isolation comes from INSULA, which means island.
Okay, that was just an intro. We'll go straight into the next one. Cut me.
When I'm weary and so worn out, my mind's carried.
My God. Tuba or trombone?
A stiffness inside my blue pain. Is there any progress? Might not be healthy. What gets me, gets me, gets me, cut me, cut me.
That was just like a delicious soundscape. I mean, the guy's voice is unbelievable. That moment where he went high and harmonized, and then they just dragged it down like a just pitch shifted it slowly down was crazy. Felt it all through my body. Crazy lyrics as well. All about masochism, I guess, and being someone who thrives in hardship by the sounds of it. I just need to read through these lyrics a little bit to catch exactly. There was a couple lines here I really liked. Yeah, when my mind's clouded and filled with doubt, that's when I feel the most alive. Masochistic kisses are how I thrive. It's interesting. Oh, a stiffness in my neck. It's a stiffness inside my neck. Banging my head against the desk. If there's no pain, is there any progress? That's when I feel alive the most. The most alive. Endurance is the source of my pride. Damn! I feel that with this guy. I was just talking about this with someone, how maybe I'm like him, you know, because I was saying to someone, I think even yesterday, that I'm often, like one of the things that I internally pride myself on the most, which is probably not good, is thinking that I can endure suffering longer than people, mental toughness, you know. But I think he's talking about honing his craft, to be honest. I think he's talking about how when you love something, you're passionate about something, You will just put the time in even when it hurts and even when you're absolutely exhausted. And you just, the only way to grow is to push through all that and just get there. And eventually it'll all come out in the wash. Without going through these really in depth, that's sort of what I'm taking from it. I could be completely off. I just know that I know that feeling, banging my head against the desk and just thinking, you have to do this, just sit here. And the more it hurts while you're doing that, the better it feels when you finish whatever it is you're trying to get done. I'll keep the lyrics up for the next one so I have them there. Hell yeah, I'm excited now. That was, I feel like it was a good intro. Hopefully there'll be, I mean, it was a pretty disjointed song, and I'm hoping there's gonna be some absolute bangers through here. Okay, In Bloom.
In the meantime, we'll get it straight. I'm only watering the seeds you sowed. In my heart, in my chain, but you slide BFF. Oh, no, I hope you're not another supplement or absent relationships. 'Cause when we're close in the car or in the stars.
Oh yeah, it's opened up.
You don't want that, do you? You just want who ain't trying to screw you. Ooh, yeah. I swear I want that, do you? I just want someone to listen to me. Who ain't trying to do me. As the night becomes dark, you call me the morning sun.
Oh. I really enjoyed that. I love, first of all, the lyrics are excellent. They're so good. He's a real storyteller. He really, I don't know. It's kind of a, you know, they always, it's like that old piece of advice is show, don't tell when you're writing a story. I feel like he's doing that well, you know. Well, maybe not specifically that, but I really felt him. I felt his pain, you know what I mean? He's you know, hoping there's a little spark there, and there's not. And he's just sort of, it's that funny thing that a lot of people do in general is you meet somebody, you have a romantic attraction to them, they don't reciprocate, but you still like them and you still want to be around them, and you think that maybe something will come through because I like them, there's a connection, why wouldn't they like me back? They just haven't seen it yet. And so you sort of hang around and you go, yeah, that's what I'm looking for too. I just want someone who'll listen to me. It's like, yeah, okay. If you're willing to lie to yourself and placate the other person. Yeah, but the sound in it, the way, I guess it was just after the first chorus, I guess it wasn't really a chorus, the way it just opened up, the whole mix, it just opened up and it had this really expansive feeling, and there was just like, you know, little hi-hats and cymbals just sizzling around, and just, it was so atmospheric, and then it just stayed like that the rest of the way, and I was glad it did because it was so nice. But man, I hope we get the same quality of storytelling, because it's funny, it's a nuanced relationship. an experience to have, but I think everybody has it, and not that many people portray it that well. And especially the way that the resignation, when most people, well, a lot of guys especially, will become resigned, and then just be like, yeah, we'll be mates, and then, you know, they don't really want that. Okay, Virile is next. Let's go. I didn't press play. Let's go again.
On a long hike through Blue Ridge Mountain, 'cause I will return to dust and matter. Passing day aside, pick on prison.
Voice.
Desperate for passing grades, the virility fades. You've got the wrong guy, and much is not enough. You've got the wrong eye. You're a son, you pick your own prison.
Oh my God.
Desperate for passing grades, the virility fades.
That's gonna be just a fade out, surely. Wow, another song with interesting lyrics. Damn, I think I might have been sleeping on this guy. He's so, I mean, his vocals are obviously just ridiculous. I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably already listened to him and you know that. It's just silly. It doesn't even make sense. He's crazy. He's all over the place. But I'm curious, I have to assume this sort of music, the way that this is, the way it sounds, how creative it is, he has to write, compose, and produce all of this, and perform all of it. I'm assuming, because it's the sort of music you generally only get if one person is following their creative outlet. It just sounds like that. There's a certain sound when you can just hear a singular voice behind something, and I think that's definitely, if I'm wrong, I sound like an idiot, but I think that must be true. The lyrics, first of all, it was a fucking banger. There's so much going on in the mix. He's really creative with the way he's panning things, with the percussion, how complicated it is. And then the lyrics, and also he's not following classical song structures, which I love. That's absolutely up my alley. But these lyrics, man, I realize none of this matters, right? I can feel the earth overtake my skin, and I realize nothing matters because I'll return to dust and matter. And then he's talking about cheers to the patriarchs, you know? So he's saying cheers to all the people who really think it matters and who are really engaged in the struggle of life, the illusionary struggle of life that we've created, you know, in society, that we all mistake for actual happiness and joy and what's a purpose, you know. And then the verse that is repeating is desperate for passing grades, you know, the virility fades. You've got the wrong guy, you want to slip right in, amp up the masculine. So I'm not sure if he's talking about two different guys or if he's talking about one specific guy, who's just sort of the symbol of men trying to become success, like what success is, you know. He's saying like you lose all of your self and your life's energy if you're trying to become the person that you're told you're supposed to be, instead of just becoming who you are and the best version of you, you know? Desperate for the grades, and you want to fit in, you want to be masculine, you know, you've got the wrong idea, son. We pick our own prisons, right? That's a potent line. To stake dominion over all that one surveys is the virile way, right? So it's saying that we're territorial, and that's what we're about. We're about dominating and owning a bigger stake of whatever it is, you know. That's what being rich is, owning a bigger stake. But then there's one little part I love here. You've got the wrong. The line is you've got the wrong idea, and then one time he says you've got the wrong eye, which I like. It's just it's a reference to spiritualities, you know, many spiritualities. Buddhism, like Eckhart Tolle talks about the eye a lot. Yeah. Really cool. He's singing about great stuff, and he's saying it so well. I'm really enjoying it. He's a super creative. He's a true artist, this guy. Let's go on to the next song. Right. Get the next lyrics up because I desperately need them for this. I should have had him up for the old J one I just did, because when I looked back at them, like, he is a brilliant lyricist, but they were really good, and I missed out on a lot of stuff there. Okay, so song 5, Conveyor.
All aboard the bulletin board, the machine, a screen, private school board.
Come on. Oh shit. I'm almost finished the next song. I'm so stupid. It just went straight into it. I didn't notice. Okay. I'm gonna re-listen to that because I was enjoying what was being said there, and I really want to talk about it. Okay, let's go back to Conveyor. Okay. Now, Conveyor is the name of this song. It's also something that this guy is. Moses Sumney is a conveyor. He is excellent at conveying a soundscape that portrays what he's trying to tell you. Like, as soon as this started, before he even said the first word, all aboard the bulletin board, I could hear I can't remember what the instrument was now because I was listening to the next song. Whatever the sound was, it sounded like a printing press. It sounded like a factory machine, specifically a printing press or a money press maybe. And I was picturing newspapers being made. And then the first line is all aboard the bulletin board. The machine, which is also what it sounded like. It sounded like a machine, right? And then he says, I anamorph into an organ, a spleen, private school boy in uniform, assembly, I will assume form. I wonder if I will assume form is a nod at James Blake or not, because he has, I could see him being a James Blake guy. Yeah, okay, so it's pretty obvious that what this song's about. It's not particularly shrouded in mystery. All aboard the bulletin board, the machine, assembly, join the workforce, the colony, conveyor for you. Yeah. It's pretty clear what he's saying. He's saying that he seemed, well, so far he's pointing out a lot of things about the society that he lives in that he doesn't like, which is the fact that most of us spend our entire life working to make other people rich because we either don't know how to make ourselves rich, we don't know how to become independent and find our own source of income, so we're always working for someone else. And because we're constantly told from the first, not even told, we're just put into a system where we're educated to in the exact same way to be the exact same things and have the exact same knowledge. But yeah, anyway, I don't know if anyone needed that explained to them, but the next song, I was like ready to get into that, but I'll listen to it again from the beginning because it was really hitting. Boxes.
Place that we can claim without contention. Dissatisfaction seems like the natural byproduct of identification.
Lucky that I went back to look at Spotify instead of lyrics then, because I almost listened to the next song as well. Again. Okay. Right. So these samples they pulled for this are so sick. We have no place that we can claim without contention, which is just, it's true. Right, so this is, I think this is obviously from the end, I'm guessing, talking about black people and probably in America. But that is, when I first heard it, we have no place to claim that we can claim without contention. I was just thinking of anybody who doesn't want to be labeled as anything, you know what I mean? Anybody who doesn't, who's just like, well, I don't need a label at all. Maybe I just want to be who I am. Anyway, I can't articulate that well, so I'll skip that. But we are constructing a whole new edifice of boxes to put people in, right? Which is, that's something, I have a feeling that that's a swipe maybe at the extreme left in the US, because it seems like a lot of the time the people who are preaching non-judgment, we don't need to be given a label. I'm non-binary or whatever it might be. Like we don't want labels anymore. Are the very people that are like being like, okay, well the extremes, you know, being like, okay, but now we have like 75. We're just breaking people down into smaller and smaller categories that we can differentiate each other from each other with, you know what I mean? So I think that's what that's talking about, and right, and to protect a space inside which you can exist. To be fair, that's talking about race, maybe it's talking about the general political environment. I don't know, but very concerned about giving names, right? So it's the same thing. It's the fact that generally as a society, we're trying to move forward and become more progressive, but there's this odd way we're going about it by giving more labels, creating more and more infinitely specific boxes to categorize people by. And then the next line is the best line. Dissatisfaction seems like the natural byproduct of identification. So obviously, as soon as you're identified as something, we are people, right? It's that quote, we contain multitudes. To ourselves, we are no one thing at any time. We're an amalgam of 100 different nebulous ideas we have spinning around in our head that change from second to second. So it makes sense that a thing that is constantly moving, even in our own idea of ourselves, would be dissatisfied by being identified as anything in particular at any point in time. I know it sounds a bit wordy, but it's a great line. And yeah, and then the last part is believing that people who define you control you, and yeah, so it's just saying, it's saying it's some obviously a black person saying that you got to think about who gave you your definitions and the labels you've got, and the ones even that you believe, and then you got to take control of it. Cool. That was a super cool little interlude. I loved it, and the samples they chose was fucking cool. Moses Sumney's absolutely crushing so far. Okay, Gagarin is next. Track 7. Let's go. Oh, it's long as fuck. The atmosphere again. This guy is brilliant, without question. I mean, the last at least 2 minutes of that was mayhem, and I was completely lost in it. Nothing, just random weird whale noises and shit. Right, well, and then getting to the actual song, which was so well written. This guy's lyrics are crazy. He's just speaking straight to my heart. I don't know what's going on, but he's talking straight into my heart here. This song is about the pressure that you get given from society. He's talking from the perspective of someone who's struggling with it, right? I wish I could dedicate my life to something bigger than me. But the thing is that not everybody is able to take on the entire world's problems. For some people, just their own problems are enough. Some people just being happy for a couple hours a day is more than they can handle. So this is a song about society constantly telling you that for you to get the gold medal, for you to get the blue ribbon, you have to save the world. You've got to be committed to being a pure, charitable, philanthropic angel who does it all right. And also you have money and everything works out for you and you're so good. Look at this line here. Where is it? The line, where is it gone? My life does not belong to me. That's one of them. And then the second one on the next verse, my strife does not belong to me. Somebody who doesn't feel like they're allowed to have their own problems because they're so worried about everyone else who has bigger problems, or the world's problems, or a country's problems, or a different race's problems, a different gender's problems, a different sexuality's problems. Fucking beautiful. What a artist, man. He's writing some fucking shit here. I love it. I should probably swear less because, no, it doesn't matter, does it? Right? I'm not a kid's channel. All right, cool. Let me just make sure I got lyrics. Jill/Jack. I'm loving this. Looks like an interlude. 133.
He had that masculine thing down. Shoulders and back straight. Straight. He had that masculine thing down. Shoulders and back straight.
She had
That masculine thing down. Shoulders and back straight.
Right, well, I think that, I mean, just a little interlude. I think that was a real artist's thing with it. They're trying to be not direct about any particular point, you know, but first he's talking about, you know, of course, just saying that he's satirizing the culture's need for masculinity and the idolization of masculinity, right? But then they'd say it a second time, except that she had the masculine thing down. Never slumping, never round. And then he said enough, like a little ad-lib, enough, never round enough. Which I'm not sure what he meant by that. He could have meant it 1,000 ways. I think they're just, it could be about that it's a shame that for women to do well in the world, they have to adopt masculine traits to be successful in the workplace. It could be just the fact that it's getting more and more normal and better for, not better and better, but more accepted and easier for women to operate in a masculine way. That's a positive thing. Like, there could be so many ways to take this. Either way, it's definitely just emphasizing the importance of the fact that is important in this world, and I would say not looking at it with a particularly flattering lens, because from everything else he said, I'm assuming he's not. Okay, the next one is color, but spelt weird. All right, this is track 9. The woodwinds. Oh.
Why don't you wear some color? You say you'd never bother. 'Cause you'd be. Why don't you try some earth tones? Since you claim you wanna die for health, say I wanna change you.
The textures.
That they could have a shades of blue.
Holy shit! Still going. Fuck, that was a long note. Trying to take the title off James Blake and say what you will with that super high note just held forever. Wow, the textures in that song, his voice and the textures in the percussion. Well, the start was awesome with those woodwinds as well, but when it came in with the percussion, I had chills like twice, I think. Damn, that was beautiful. Okay, the lyrics, I'm not exactly sure what this one is about. Why don't you wear some color? I mean, it sounds, in the beginning when he said, why don't you wear some color to bring out your eyes, I thought immediately, I was like, he's going for people constantly giving advice and telling people how to be, you know. You say you never bother because you'd be telling lies, you know. It's like someone saying, why don't you look better? Why don't you smile more, you know? And then the person saying, well, why would I project feeling good and feeling confident when I don't, you know? And then why don't you put on some gross shit if you're unhappy? Yeah, maybe it's not. I think reading the end, maybe it's nicer than that. Since you're coming on a diet where the color of compost might make you feel revived, I think it'd look great on you. Go on, show yourself. There's nothing to be scared of. Do it for your health. Say I want to change you. That was never true. Look up at the gray hues. They could all be shades of blue. So maybe it's as someone who's kind and being misunderstood, and they're just trying to say, I wish you'd be yourself. And even if you're being honest about being miserable, at least then you'd be free from telling lies and hiding, and just saying, you know, even if you're miserable, there's a way that you can spin it for yourself and somehow get back to seeing it as a better thing than maybe you presently do. That is also, I would imagine, a completely fucking wrong look at it, but you know, speculation, baby. I speculate, the artists write it, we speculate on it. That's how it works. Especially when you have someone who writes beautiful, poetic things like this. Okay, so we got the next one. We're getting towards the back end of this now. Track 10, there's 12 on disc 1. I mean, it's a strong disc 1 so far. I would say this counts as 2 albums, right? Nobody has... Oh, it's just one long album, I guess. Only 8 shorter tracks on the second half. Okay. Also, and. That's the name of this song. I have the Yes, I have the lyrics. I'm ready to go. Also, and. Let's go!
I insist upon my right to be multiple. I insist upon my right to be multiple. Even
Multitudes,
more so,
like I said.
Constantly explain and defend one's multiplicity. So I've reached a point where I am aware of my inherent I can also and.
Oh, almost went into the next one. Right, well, that's kind of a confirmation of what I was talking about earlier in the previous, I don't remember which song it was. And it seems like this is the theme for this album so far, is the whole thing is, the theme is the struggle of being human when you're so many things at once. I've lost what I was thinking before. But the struggle of communicating and going through the world as someone who changes all the time, and we all change all the time, and we expect other people to not change. That's true. Like, we just expect other people to be the same person that we knew them to be yesterday, last week, last year, when we met them 10 years ago. And they never are. You're never the same person even 2 minutes from now. And you know, you probably have that same person in there somewhere, but you also have 15 others that that person doesn't see. I'm fucking rambling. Damn, I thought I had something poignant, I lost it. Oh well, I had but yeah, that's the theme. The theme of this album has been that. Fuck, I lost it. I'm not smart. Damn it! Okay, let's just move on. Hopefully I'll get it back by the end of the album. I'm sure I will, because he's really driving it home. Neither nor. Second last song. Yeah, let's get it. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
When I was a little boy, I'd scream at vague misty nights of I fell in love with her in between, coloring in the marks. They say,
Wow. We really had this confirmed, hey. I wonder, I'm really curious what has made this such a huge focal point for Moses Sumney. I suspect maybe he has, it may not be a he, it may be a they or a she, I'm really not sure, because it really seems like this is someone who has struggled with other people, with themselves initially, I'm guessing, and then with other people, being able to understand them in any way, because he has a real issue with categorization. He has a real issue with identification and labels, and you'd have to guess that has something to do with either him having an unconventional sexuality or gender, or just maybe a physical difference or a affectation that makes him stand out and be confusing to other people. And that's what this whole album is about, right? It's like he's, you know, having like easy categories for people to fit into, and archetypes that we can quickly understand how people are going to behave and the sort of things that they're gonna want and how to interact with them, has been extremely useful and is extremely useful in a society of animals that's as large as ours, that's as cooperative as ours. But that's kind of the struggle that we're having at the moment. That's the growing pains we're having, is that we're, at least in the very most progressive parts of the first world, we're struggling with understanding that that's a useful tool, but we're kind of at a point now where we have solved a lot of issues, and one of the big issues that's left to solve is that we aren't all easily categorizable, and that we are all completely and utterly individual and constantly changing. So yeah, is there anything in these lyrics I need to go over? I don't think so, honestly. It's pretty straightforward. It's just about him always being different and not being easy to understand to other people, because he's not a straightforward archetype that's easy to deal with. So let's keep going. He knows how to write an album about something and get it off his chest, that's for sure. Alright, Polly is the last song. I'm hoping it's gorgeous. It has the second most plays of any song on the album, 3.5 minutes. Maybe it's like a single type thing. Let's go for it. Let's see how he caps it out. It's been absolutely brilliant so far, let's be honest. The guy's incredible. Alright, let's go. By the way, the voice is just ridiculous. The other thing, he has similarities to the lead singer of Old J, because he uses his voice extremely uniquely, and like an instrument, he's going all over the place with it. Everything's unconventional about the way he's singing, and the control is like crazy. It's like James Blake level control. Let's go.
You remain in motion, bottom of the ocean, like no moon is higher, hollow as you weather this sea, Polly. You love dancing with me, or you just love dancing. Polly, Polly, Polly. I know that once always evolve into rain. You make me go unstable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I just a cornucopia of just in cases? Whoa, party, oh, party, party, ooh.
Oh, don't tell me that's it. Oh no. I don't even know if I want to... Oh, I want to just go straight into disc 2, to be honest. That was beautiful. Okay, let's do this song, and I can do disc 2 another time. It's gonna be too long otherwise. Okay. I mean, the beginning seems straightforward, you know? It's like, am I gonna... First of all, the song was gorgeous. Their voices together were unbelievable, and that was the closest to like just a regular sort of singer-songwriter ballad type song on the album, and it was wonderful. The guy's voice is unbelievable. He can write like fucking nobody's business. Octopus, okay, if I split my body in 2 men, would you then love me better? Octopus myself, so you weather this sea. See, Polly? See, Polly, see, me. I mean, the guy's fucking broken up about Polly, that's for damn sure. That's a woman, I'm guessing. I don't know any guys named Polly. You love dancing with me, or you just love dancing? Fuck, that's sad. Yeah. And then it's also about like this part here, unhealthy coping mechanisms. I don't want to live here. Sometimes I don't live at all. I want to be cotton candy in the mouth of many a lover. Saccharin and slick technicolor, I'll dissolve. But I know that won't solve this. Evolve into rain and spit, you make me go unstitched. You know? He wants to fucking... He's coping by getting validation through sex from other people, because Polly don't love him the way he loves her. And it's fucked up, man. Hurts. You know what? And it actually only hurts more when you do that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. I can't do the second part because these album reactions are already way too long anyway. Nobody's gonna watch an hour and a half video. But that was a wonderful achievement, and the artistry was unbelievable on literally every level. The composition, the performance on his vocals, the instrumentation, the production was phenomenal. The way that he was creating atmospheres that just matched exactly what he was trying to get across, and the way that the album as a whole thematically was beautifully tied in together and really pushed the message home without being ham-fisted, and was showing all different elements of sort of the same individual experience of his that has, but also, you know, and also touching on a little bit of, you know, social commentary. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Joe smashed it with this one. I have no idea how he chose this because it's so different to what he found that I liked and recommended this off that, which is crazy. All right, guys. Thank you if you've been here, and recommend me something good, please. I want to find more stuff. This has been fun already. I've only done, this is the third one. I won't be putting the second one up, I don't think, but I've already only done 3 and it's been great. So please recommend me some stuff. Hang out. All right.